Billionaire catches black driver dancing with his paralyzed daughter. What happened? The glass walls of the Prescott estate gleamed in the sun, reflecting the wealth and power of a man who owned half the city. Henry Prescott, billionaire real estate tycoon, had built his empire from the ground up and guarded it with the precision of a hawk. His only daughter, Amelia, was his heart, but also his deepest wound. A year earlier, a car accident had left Amelia paralyzed from the waist down. Once a graceful ballet dancer, she now lived confined to a wheelchair. Henry had hired the best doctors money could buy, filled her room with the latest rehabilitation machines, and insisted she'd walk again someday. But beneath the relentless therapies and medical routines, Amelia's laughter had disappeared. Henry worked tirelessly, drowning in board meetings and stock deals, while Amelia spent most days alone in the echoing mansion. Her mother had passed away years ago, leaving only Henry's wealth and Amelia's sorrow to fill the void. Enter the driver. Marcus Johnson was not the kind of man who usually found himself working for billionaires. Tall, broad-shouldered, and with a voice like warm velvet, Marcus had grown up on the south side of the city, where broken streetlights and cracked sidewalks told stories no one wanted to hear. He had been a dancer once, training in hip-hop and contemporary, but family struggles had forced him to give up his dream. When he landed the job as Amelia's driver through a friend's recommendation, he treated it as just another paycheck. But Amelia noticed something about him on the very first day. When he thought no one was watching, Marcus moved with rhythm. His feet tapped to invisible beats. His shoulders rolled as if caught in silent music. For weeks, he simply drove her to hospitals, therapy sessions, and rare outings. But one late afternoon, when Amelia sat alone in her sunroom staring at the rain, Marcus lingered. She asked softly, "Do you still dance?" He froze. "How do you know?" "I see it in the way you move," she said. "Show me." At first, he laughed it off, but Amelia was persistent. Eventually, Marcus pushed the coffee table aside and let his body flow. His arms cut through the air, his feet stomped rhythms across the marble, his chest pulsed with life. Amelia clapped and laughed, a sound Henry hadn't heard in months. From then on, dancing became their secret. The secret lessons. Marcus began visiting Amelia's room after his shifts. He brought small speakers, played soulful tracks, and encouraged her to move however she could. "Doesn't matter if it's just your hands," he told her. "Dance is not in your legs. It's in your heart." At first, Amelia only swayed her arms or snapped her fingers, but soon she was spinning her wheelchair in playful circles, laughing breathlessly as Marcus danced beside her. For the first time since the accident, she felt alive. One evening, he even lifted her gently from the chair, holding her steady as he swayed them both to the rhythm. Her head rested against his chest, and though her legs hung limp, she felt as though she were flying. It was during one of these moments that Henry Prescott walked in. The discovery. Henry had come home early from a deal in Chicago, eager to surprise Amelia. What he saw when he opened the sunroom doors froze him to the spot. His chauffeur holding his daughter, swaying with her in his arms, their faces lit with joy. The billionaire's expression darkened. "What in God's name is happening here?" Marcus immediately set Amelia back in her chair, stepping back like a soldier before a general. Amelia's cheeks burned, but she raised her chin. "Daddy, wait," she began. Henry's voice was cold as steel. "You're fired. Get out." "Sir." Marcus tried, but Henry's glare silenced him. Within minutes, Marcus was gone, leaving Amelia sobbing in her chair. The rift. For days, Amelia refused to speak to her father. She locked her doors, skipped meals, and ignored the expensive therapists he brought in. Finally, Henry confronted her. "You don't understand," Amelia said through tears. He made me feel like myself again. He reminded me I could still live, even like this. He's a driver, Henry snapped. A stranger. And I won't have him take advantage of you. You're wrong about him, she whispered. But Henry was too blinded by pride and fear to listen. A change of heart. Weeks passed. One evening, Henry attended a gala where a famous doctor spoke about trauma recovery. The doctor emphasized that emotional healing was just as vital as physical therapy. Sometimes, he said, what a patient needs most is not medicine but joy. That night, Henry lay awake, haunted by the memory of Amelia's laughter as Marcus spun her chair. He realized it had been months since he had seen her that happy. Money had bought her machines and medicines, but not her smile. The next morning, Henry made a decision. The reunion. He drove himself into the city, to the modest neighborhood where Marcus lived. When Marcus opened the door, surprise flashed in his eyes, followed by caution. Mr. Prescott. Henry took a deep breath. I owe you an apology. I misjudged you. Amelia, she hasn't laughed like that since before the accident. If you're willing, I'd like you to come back. Not as her driver, but as her dance instructor. Marcus's jaw tightened, then softened. Only if Amelia wants me to. She does, Henry said quietly. More than anything, dancing again. When Marcus returned to the estate, Amelia's face lit up brighter than any chandelier in the mansion. She wheeled forward, tears in her eyes, and grabbed his hand. I thought I lost you. Not a chance, he grinned. From then on, Marcus became part of her life officially. He choreographed routines with her wheelchair, blending ballet with street dance. Together, they created a style uniquely Amelia's, fluid, fierce, and breathtaking. Henry often stood at the doorway, watching silently, humbled by how wrong he had been. The performance. Months later, Amelia entered a showcase for dancers with disabilities. The crowd gasped as she spun her wheelchair in time with Marcus's movements, her arms slicing the air, her face radiant with joy. When the music ended, the hall erupted in applause. Henry sat in the front row, tears streaming down his cheeks. In that moment, he saw not a paralyzed girl, but his daughter. The dancer she had always been, reborn through resilience and love. After the performance, Henry hugged Marcus for the first time. Thank you, he said simply, for giving me my daughter back. Marcus smiled. She did it herself. I just reminded her she could. Epilogue. From then on, Marcus was no longer just the driver. He became family. Henry supported Amelia and Marcus as they founded a dance program for disabled youth, blending movement, music, and hope. Children who had once felt trapped in broken bodies discovered freedom on the dance floor. And every evening, when the sun dipped behind the glass walls of the Prescott estate, laughter and music filled the halls once more. For Henry Prescott, the billionaire who thought money could solve anything, the greatest treasure turned out to be something he could never buy, his daughter's smile, brought back to life by the rhythm of dance and the courage of a man he had once cast out.